Welcome back to Unplugged with Buddyred. Let's get into it. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome back to Unplugged with Buddyred. I'm your host, as always, Buddyred, and today we're going to be talking about some Fortnite stuff and some other gaming stuff. Today is the newest update of Fortnite, which is the patch that Midas came back. It's kind of meh. Midas comes back, and I was really hoping he was going to change like the Hades POI and like this whole like thing was going to happen. They kind of just like plopped him on the map and didn't really say anything about it. It's like he escaped. Oh, that's a dog. It's like he escaped the like Hades like prison, but he just goes to the yacht and chills. And now there's a way to like make your guns gold instantly, and you can get a drum gun from him, and that's basically it. There's not a whole lot. At least it's an update. It's a one more update basically than last season ever had, outside of the Ninja Turtle update. And drum gun's back. It's a slight variation to the drum gun. It looks meh. It looks fine. It's probably better than AK, but I don't think it's much to talk about. The Hades Lantern is now in the game as a mythic drop, where you can grab people, and it seems like it does some decent damage. You can like left click and do some like attacks and stuff like that, which is cool. But again, it's kind of like I don't know. I'm not super pumped. Oh, and smaller bubble shields. I haven't played anything yet. I've just been watching some gameplay. It looks pretty mediocre, and I don't see a whole lot of changes happening. I don't think I'm ever going to take any of them over anything else. The Hades Lantern isn't terrible. Apparently, you can grab like somebody sniping you like somewhat close. You can grab them and pull them out of it. There are some good combos you can probably do with it, like grab and shotgun, before they can really do anything. But besides that, it's kind of it. But you can also, they nerfed not Thresh. Getting my games mixed up. They nerfed Zeus's Thunderbolts. So they no longer do the first two no longer do damage to you through buildings. So if you hit a wall, it doesn't do 40 damage or whatever it is, 40 to 80 damage maybe. 60. I don't know, somewhere between there. Through the wall to you, the first two can only break walls, and a third, I think the last bolt is still the strongest bolt and is like still able to do like 80 damage through structures and stuff. But for the terms of build mode and no build mode and all that, there is a way to block it, and I think the bubble shields negate it. So it's I didn't think the Thunderbolts were OP, but I knew a lot of people didn't like them and felt like they were too strong, especially in certain situations where you kind of got if you got cornered, you were kind of screwed. So they got nerfed. Currently, they just put out a tweet that the Wings of Icarus are currently out of the game because of some issue. I kind of wish that they would just take them out. I think the Wings of Icarus are nothing more than a trap to get you killed. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, honestly. I feel like anytime I use them to like get out of a situation, if you get some type of like aimbot against the Wing of Icarus item, where if you're shooting within like the wings box, you get hit points, head or body. At least that's how I feel. I feel like it's aimbot every single time. It just feels so easy to hit if it's not. And I mean, you just beam people out of the sky, and it's super easy to hit your shots. So I don't even see value in the item in the first place. I love it when people try to use them against me because I just beam them out of the sky. honestly, either the two original mythics, I would just, if somebody turned up on me as long as I knew they were there and it wasn't a surprise, you turn around, whip out your AR, blast them, and they're dead. They're just exposed, entirely exposed, and it's super easy to knock them out of the sky. So, the mythics are kind of, I'm almost disappointed because mythics are supposed to be at least strong, but if you get hit by them, there's the damage, but if you use them slightly in the incorrect way, you're absolutely bodied. And it really takes out the mythic-esque of it. It doesn't really hold any true power, at least IMO. And I think that's really it. I don't know if there's any new oh, also something else. There are now golden chickens that run around the map and drop golden eggs where you can get extra gold from them, which is cool. It helps with the gold drought that it feels like it always happens. There's new quests, and I'm watching some gameplay real quick while I'm talking about this. It looks like, say, the Hades lantern has about 50-meter grab distance, hits for 30, and the swings do about 35 at more rapid pace. And they put Ares as a crew pack, so there's different variations of that. Honestly, the best item actually might be the bubble shield because it blocks everything, which is actually kind of crazy. But I think a bigger thing about this update is the non-BR stuff. Apparently, you are now going to be able to make community racing maps for the racing game mode, which that's pretty big. And allegedly a Lego update, but I'm pretty sure that there's been such a lack of updates for Lego stuff that Lego's just dead at this point, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do to even revive that in the first place. They really threw the ball on that one, if we're being honest. Second news is that according to HyperX on Twitter, or X, Fortnite OG2 news, Fortnite OG2 is in active development, and there has been a new mysterious OG FNCS Chaos tournaments and works with 2024 placeholder dates, which we already knew was going to happen because it was such a big hit. They're going to keep bringing it back to try to keep the old players coming back and at least originating back to the game. But yeah, so everything that's looking as kind of meh. Avatar collab with comes back with Aang, and apparently it's going to come with 3 mythics, which is going to be interesting. So we know that it's going to have the water bending mythic from the Korra. So I don't know. So I don't know why they're doing 3. Honestly, they could do 4 mythics super easily, just one of each element. Water bend, earth, fire, and wind, and all have different type of the wind could easily be some type of flying thing or something. I don't know. It could be. There's a lot of things that they could do with it. There's the LTM floor is lava. I know that's a big one amongst the community. I'm not big on it, but I know that's a big one that a lot of people enjoy. JJK collab is coming back. I don't know who they're going. I don't know if they're just going to throw the balls back in the game and put them back in the item shop or what. There's going to be a Star Wars collab with Chewbacca's bowcaster, and more. I don't know anything about Star Wars. I know Chewbacca is a big furry dude, but I don't know anything about the bowcaster. So maybe that's going to be a new item. It says a Rise of Midas event, new gameplay features, and Flora's Lava LTM, which we have today. and they're making it sound a lot cooler than it is, because so far it's pretty lackluster. I hope there's more to it that we just haven't seen yet, but it looks pretty lame. Oh, that's cool. So there's also talks of possible. So the drum gun came out. There's a possibility that tactical AR comes back, which I really enjoyed the tactical AR. I thought it was the best SMG combo that we could get. I always thought it felt good. Hand cannon could make a return. I always like the hand cannon. It's always fun to use. It feels good when you hit clips and stuff like that. And then apparently more story quests are coming. So it's Avatar Mini Pass and JJK. So Avatar is going to be the big one, obviously. I wonder if JJK is going to be a second event, because they already have Korra in there, like they did with Snake last season. But it's confirmed that the Avatar is actually going to have a mini pass, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did, which Snake did not have. So I don't know how the JJK. I think JJK I'm pretty sure that was just all in the item shop anyway. So they're probably gonna have like Panda and a couple others, a couple new characters in the item shop and stuff like that. I'm just gonna keep going through the list of just everything that's expected. So the creator mode tracks, which we already touched on. There's gonna be death races, which that sounds like it could be cool. They're adding new maps, which is good because they need new maps after everybody's already perfected every other map. There's going to be new vehicles, Mazumune, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Centio V17, a Whiplash, a Ferrari 458, Ferrari F430, Citroen, I don't think I said that right at all, C3 R5 Rally 2, BMW E30 318i, 2 new wheels. It's got a Draco, which is like a dragon head on it, and a spinner, and more Rocket League cosmetics to transfer to Fortnite. So that's cool for those people that care about that stuff. And I think that's really it. So there's a couple. I mean, overall, the entire thing is cool. I think. And I don't see anything about Legos, so that's upsetting. I don't know if how they split the team or what they did with like Rocket Racing and Lego Fortnite, but either they took resources from the BR and put them into that, and that's hurting the BR, or they just haven't been able to, or I mean, which is I want to assume that they have done, considering that there is absolutely nothing happening. I mean, there's just nothing happening in Fortnite in general, which is just the disappointing part. There was a massive lack of updates last season, which I've already harped on like 20 times at this point. We're getting updates now finally. With this season, I hope the way that it continues to at least keep something fresh. New items and stuff at least helps. I was hoping that they would do a little bit more, at least with like more with the Midas event and like another cutscene or something. I don't know, just something to make it feel more hype. It just felt like they're like, oh, here's like 3 new items, and we're gonna say this is an event, but nothing's really gonna happen. We're just gonna kind of take this guy and plop him back on the map because we kind of know he's a fan favorite, and a lot of people liked him. So we're just gonna kind of go, bloop, there you go. Now he's on a yacht, and you can visit him and buy a drum gun off of him. I'm also kind of confused on the drum gun. Like, I don't know. It looks like it's like 40 rounds with the extended mag, but it also kind of seems like there's 40 rounds with the regular mag. I don't know. It must be like 30 and 40 or something like that. I've heard some people say the recoil is really weird. Which again, I haven't played it yet. You know, that's I mean, I don't know. I felt like the drum gun always had a weird recoil where there wasn't a a straight vertical recoil pattern. It was kind of a side to side thing, which is confusing to understand how to control. It's almost like you have to control it diagonally. And I don't know. I'm playing some games today. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it feels. And that's about it with that. In other news, I'm actually going to talk about some March Madness stuff since that's a big thing coming up. I know this is like a nerd podcast, but I don't enjoy NBA, but I do enjoy college basketball. Just it's super local and stuff, and it's really fun to it's really fun to me for this part of the season. I am a UVA and James Madison fan, which UVA, honestly, I've been a UVA fan all my life. I've grown up around University of Virginia, and this might be the worst UVA team we have ever had since I've been conscious. And them making it into the bracket this year, I mean, even though they have to like they're in the first four, they have to earn their way into the bracket. But the fact that their name was even called, first off, they didn't even have a watch party because they already knew because they didn't even think that they were going to make it in. Which I feel like they only made it in because they made the finals in the NCAA tournament where Duke and UNC didn't, which are both also frauds. I feel like a lot of the ACC teams are frauds this year, and they are being absolutely overhyped. But I'm just going to go through the bracket real quick and what my expectations are. So there's UConn and Stinson. I don't know anything about Stinson, but I remember that I picked UConn. Can I not do this? Oh wait, this is the wrong. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. So UConn Stinson, obviously UConn's going to win that. I'm going to just go ahead and assume that all number one seeds are going to beat 16 because it's only happened. I think actually it has happened twice now, but odds are that that's not going to happen. FAU and Northwestern is actually, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good game, but I think FAU has been hot this year, and Northwestern is a decent team, but FAU is definitely going to take that over Northwestern. San Diego, I always actually have a weird amount of respect for, so I'm going to have San Diego State over UAB. I'm going to go through this pretty fast because I've already looked at this and made a few brackets on my own. Auburn and Yale, I feel like Auburn's a fraud, but it's also Yale. So, and looking at all their stats and everything, Auburn has had a tougher schedule. They've gone 4-3. The biggest thing, honestly, one of the teams I think missed out that should have a place in this bracket, or more Sunbelt teams. App State looks phenomenal this year, and there's and at least maybe even another team from the Sunbelt could have squeezed in. I don't think there's enough respect from the Sunbelt, considering how well and how many teams we played that and beat outside. Like App State beat Auburn, stuff like that. JMU, which I mean, we're only which I don't even know if we would have been in the tournament if we hadn't won the Sun Belt, because it's an automatic seed. It's one of the things, like, I just probably not enough respect in those names because probably 8 out of 10 teams make it into the tournament purely off name base. But I still have to pick Auburn over Yale, sadly, as much as I would not want to. What's it? Duke Sydney? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Against BYU. BYU is a pretty solid team every year. They played a lot of top 25s and went 4-5. Duke Sydney went 1-1. Looking at their stats, I don't know much about either of them. I want to pick BYU just because of historical bias. Illinois and Moore's Head. I feel like it's probably going to be Illinois. Illinois is a pretty solid team and probably going to be a little slept on. They did play 5 top 25s and went 1-4. and then they were put at a 3 seed, which I don't really agree with. But they probably do have a better track record than Morehead State, which Morehead State actually had a fairly competitive season and really only picked up losses against like Purdue and Tennessee and the Tennessee Volunteers. So this is actually a potential upset, which I think I picked Illinois. But honestly, because against Purdue, they lost by 6 points and 83-78, which I'm not even doing math right now, but not by a large margin. Actually, I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to say Morehead State over Illinois. Washington State against Drake. I'm pretty sure I picked Washington State, and I'm going to stick to that. Yeah, I'm going to stick to Washington State. Washington State looks better than Drake. Iowa State and South Dakota. Iowa State 100%. Iowa State honestly was kind of robbed of a first seed, if we're being honest. They look way, way better than their placement shows. And South Dakota State making this pretty cool. South Dakota State did have some pretty solid games I remember seeing on like Twitter and stuff. But most of the teams that they played were not much to like really pay attention to. North Carolina, it's a first seed. I'm gonna have to put them at winning, but I don't have North Carolina making it very far. I think North Carolina are frauds. Mississippi State and Michigan State. Michigan State, first game they were ranked top 3. They played 9 top 25s, went 2-7. Mississippi State played 9 and went 3-6. This says Michigan State should go farther than Mississippi State. They had a better conference. But they lost against Duke. They lost against Arizona. Lost against Illinois and Wisconsin, and then came back and beat Illinois once, and lost and they actually had pretty fair games against Purdue, but lost both times to Purdue. While Mississippi, all their notable results are against Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. They lost a lot of those as well. I'm gonna go. I just don't like Michigan State, but I know Michigan State's still Michigan State. That's gonna be a good game. Honestly, it could go either way. Out of bias, I'm gonna go Mississippi. Same areas over Grand Canyon. Alabama and Charleston. I feel like Charleston over Alabama. I feel like this could be a good upset. Alabama lost to Purdue, Creighton, Arizona, Tennessee. Beat Auburn once, lost to Auburn. Lost Kentucky, lost to Tennessee. I mean, Charleston played Liberty. Liberty's a joke school. Lost to Florida Atlantic, which not surprising. And it's all like low D1 tier schools. Alabama should win this, but I don't think Alabama's going to make it very far past them. I think they're going to lose St. Mary's. Clemson, New Mexico. Clemson making it. It's kind of crazy. I don't remember Clemson being very good this year. They beat Alabama. They beat TCU. They lost to UNC. Lost to Duke. Lost to UVA. Turn around, barely beat UNC. Beat Pittsburgh, which whatever. And they lost to Wake Forest, which Wake Forest was ass. And University of New Mexico beat San Diego, and Boise State. And as I said, I hold San Diego way high. And they beat San Diego twice. I'm going to go with New Mexico as an upset here. Baylor and Colgate. I think I'm just going to go with Baylor. Yeah, I'm just going to go Baylor on this one. Dayton and Nevada. Dayton's going to be one of those better teams. They lost to Richmond Spiders. Lost to VCU and didn't even break 50 points. And then played them a month later and beat them 91-86. They beat Cincinnati, lost to Northwestern. Nevada lost to San Diego, beat TCU. Lost to New Mexico. Ended up beating San Diego. San Diego actually dropped a lot of weird games. This could go either way. I mean, this is a 7-10. I'm gonna go. It's kind of, but Nevada beat 3 top 25 teams and went 3-1. I'm gonna go upstate Nevada. Arizona and Long Beach. I think that's gonna have to be Arizona. Then we go Tennessee and St. Peter's, Tennessee, Texas and UVA, Texas, UVA or CSU, Texas. Creighton and Akron, Creighton, South Carolina, and Oregon. I think South Carolina here. I want to say most definitely South Carolina. Kansas and Stanford. Kansas is not making it very far. They kind of look like a joke. Stanford, I want to say beats them here, but I just don't know if I can do it. They lost to Purdue 98-45. They lost to VCU by 10. They beat the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, which are a joke team. I want to have to say Kansas, but I don't think Kansas is making it past Gonzaga. TCU and Utah State could go either way. Utah State is a kind of a coin flippy team, but they played a lot of decent teams. They lost to New Mexico. But TCU losing to Kansas. They beat Houston by a single point. Lost to Iowa by a single point. Beat Baylor by 3. Lost to Iowa by a lot. Baylor by a good bit. BYU by a good bit. So they win a few, but they also drop a lot. I think Utah just looks more consistent. So I'm going to go with Utah. Even though 7 of TCU's losses were to top 25 teams. And they have a pretty hard conference. So there's a chance that actually, you know what? I want to go TCU. I want to go for the slight upset. And Purdue beats the 16 seed. Marquette beats Western Kentucky. Florida beats whoever gets put in against them. Kentucky wins against Oakland, I think. Yeah, Kentucky against Oakland. NC State, I think, is going to make a massive. NC State looks strong. Duke against Vermont. I want to say Duke, and then James Madison against Wisconsin because James Madison is absolutely slept on. Pure bias, but I think they are absolutely slept on and are going to be a massive upset that people just don't want to accept. Nebraska and Texas A&M is going to be, I think, this is actually really close. They lost against Illinois twice. They beat Wisconsin once, lost once. Beat Purdue by a lot, 88-72. Lost to Creighton, 89-60. Texas A&M lost to Houston, lost to Auburn, lost to Kentucky, lost to Tennessee, but also beat Tennessee. Beat Kentucky twice, lost to Florida Gators. I'm going to have to say they had a tougher bracket. I want to go with Nebraska. And Tennessee and Texas A&M actually being ranked over Nebraska. I could have gone either way. Houston over Longwood. Another Virginia state college, or another Virginia college, but Longwood is. Congrats on them making it, but they're not going to make it very far. All right, then we're just going to work our way back down. Houston over Nebraska, JMU over Duke because of favoritism. Houston's going to end up being JMU. NC State beats Kentucky, and Marquette beats Florida. I think Marquette's going to pull it over NC State. And then it's kind of kind of back and forth against Houston and Marquette. I know Houston's a big favorite to win the tournament. I'm going to go with the upset. I think Marquette beats Houston. Purely out of spite. Purdue beats TCU. Gonzaga beats Kansas. South Carolina, Creighton beats South Carolina, and Texas beats Tennessee. I think. Oh, let me look at this again. Who did Texas play? Houston had a hard season. Or not, sorry. Texas had a hard season. And based off their team stats, it's really not that far apart. I think it could be an upset. I want to go with the upset. Texas beats Tennessee and then loses to Creighton. Gonzaga and Purdue. Purdue has lost some games so they shouldn't have. Purdue is 7-0 against top 25 teams, but they do drop games against the lower teams. Gonzaga was never really ranked this year. I think actually they may have been. I don't know. Gonzaga over Purdue. I think it's going to be an upset. And then, do I have the Blue Jays winning? Gonzaga's a tournament team, man. I'm going to pick Gonzaga. Double upset. And then Marquette against Gonzaga is going to be Gonzaga just always looks good. I don't know. We'll come back to the Final Four. Nevada, Arizona. Nevada is going to win that. I don't think Arizona is as good as they show. They score a lot, but if they have a bad game, they're going to get taken down. I want to say Nevada is a massive upset. New Mexico and Baylor. I also need to get the stream going soon. I should have just started with this. I want to say upset over Baylor is New Mexico. St. Mary's over Alabama. North Carolina are frauds. With North Carolina over Mississippi. Iowa, Washington, Iowa. Iowa's making a deep run. BYU and more states. BYU, I think. Yeah, BYU for more state. San Diego over Auburn, and I think UConn over FAU. Yeah, UConn over FAU. UConn over San Diego, as much as I would like San Diego to win, and Iowa State over BYU. And I don't know. UConn looks strong this year, unless they have a really bad game. St. Mary's over North Carolina. Nevada, New Mexico. I'm going to have to give it to New Mexico, which is another upset technically. And then I think St. Mary's pulls ahead. Yeah, St. Mary's wins. North Carolina, St. Mary's. It's St. Mary's again. Oh, wait. I already did that. Oh, that goes to the Final Four. All right, Final Four. Marquette, Gonzaga. I think it's Gonzaga. But Marquette has a very good possibility as well. But Gonzaga technically Gonzaga scores a lot more and holds their opponent the same down lower as well. So because of the high scoring and holding the opponents low, I'm going to say Gonzaga over Marquette. It's another upset. And UConn and St. Mary's, I think it's UConn. UConn wins it. And that's what I'm going to stick with. All right. I need to start the stream. I need to go live. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what your picks are, what you think of this new Fortnite update, and all that stuff down below. Over on YouTube, leave a comment, like, sub. Spotify, thank you for listening. Download it or follow the podcast. I don't really know how that works on Spotify. I just like things and listen. And I think it's definitely following the podcast. Following the podcast channel. And I hope you guys enjoy. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and all of that is linked down below in the description of all these podcasts. If you want to catch me live, I'm currently live Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday/Sunday, or both. Saturday, Sunday are the mornings from 8 to 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. EST. 7 to 9 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, except for today because I'm starting late because of the podcast. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, thank you guys for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you guys next time.